You are welcome here. 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 Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us today at this beautiful, beautiful, foggy morning. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. This is the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living, and we are delighted to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and also call out the folks on Facebook and watching later on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And I'm going to pass the word over to Bernie, one of our board members and our volunteer coordinator, and a practitioner emeritus. Woo!
That's my whole speech there.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Welcome to you all. We're very excited to have you all here, and today's program you're going to love because we have the beautiful Shelley Eller and lovely Allison Vance singing to us. Shelley, you're singing with Allison, the way I said it.
Oh, good to know.
So,
okay.
In case you didn't know that. No. So we're happy to have you here. We're so delighted because it is such a special place. This is called the Cathedral of Kindness, and I just want you to know that every class, every special event, and every Sunday service, ooh, goosebumps, every Sunday service creates this ripple of kindness going out into the world. And so welcome for your wonderful self.
Thank you, Bernie.
You bet.
All right, so let's have Mr. Bill come forward. Okay.
I think the children wanted to join me today.
Oh, I
Help
hope
me
so.
out.
There's a lot of them.
They're coming?
Come on, kiddos. Should we
Is
sit on
everyone-
the stage?
You guys want to sit down? Help Reverend Bonnie hold down the stage?
Hi.
No?
No? Okay.
Knots will.
Not today.
Good morning.
Oh, thank you, Nico. Good to see you, kid. Hi, guys.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I'd like to start this morning by having everyone close their eyes, take a breath, and think, if you could create the perfect world, what would it look like?
Hamsters.
I hear hamsters
I hear hamsters.
and rainbows. What kind of people would be in this world? Bunnies and hamsters. Lots of kids.
Carrots.
Anything that's an animal.
Hey, then.
What would you do in this world?
Have fun. Have fun. Do whatever you want. Be awesome. Do whatever you wanted.
I hear a lot of awesome fun out there.
Best world ever. Best world ever.
And how would it feel to live in this world?
Awesome. Awesome.
So while everyone has their eyes closed,
Of course.
I'd like to honor someone. Oh, he's not here? Well, maybe we'll honor him in a little bit. But I did want to honor Clark Ehler, who this week, last week graduated from high school, Rio Mesa, this year. So, here in spirit with us.
And just in case he's going to have to watch it later, here's your present, Clark. Right.
It was my brother's birthday last.
All right.
to know.
Oh, there he
Okay.
is.
Where?
So,
He's
so,
sick.
so with that, I'd like you all to repeat after me. I create the perfect world,
I create the perfect world.
and so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to have you sit here for just a minute, and then the congregation is going to sing to you. How about that? You are the face of God. Okay. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. And so it is. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right. May I move this? Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, y'all. So what we're going to do now is have some prayer. I'm still in youth and family mode. I'm using my teacher voice, aren't I? Can everybody say prayer? Okay. So let's have Miss Jill, a former graduate of youth and family, our former director. She's going to lead us in prayer.
Good morning, everyone. So I invite the practitioners to join me in standing in this opening prayer. Practitioners. Okay. I'd like to shout out actually to my father who's visiting from Pennsylvania. I'm so proud to have him here today.
Yay.
And now that I've thoroughly embarrassed him, let's all just take a deep breath and center in. You can soften your eyes, soften your gaze. Settle into this moment. And with each breath in, we accept and we open. And then as we breathe out, we just know we come home to our hearts. And in this moment, in this breath, I know that Infinite Spirit lives and breathes and has its being in everything, everyone, everywhere, every moment. And that comforts me, and it inspires me. And as I know that infinite presence lives and breathes through me, co-creating this wonderful life, this awesome life with hamsters in it, and all the wonderful critters, I know that life breathes through each and every one of us here in this center today. And I know that the words that are spoken through our reverend, through our speaker, they're blessed. The words exchanged in friendly conversation with the congregants, they're blessed. The music, the laughter of the children, the reconnections in social hall. Each one of us shows up individually, but we all collectively are this one thing. This life moving, loving, being, expressing. Isn't that beautiful? So with a heart filled with gratitude, I release this word into the universal law, and together we say,
And so it is. Thank you. So let us continue to breathe deeply and allow ourselves to be still and know, to anchor into that divine presence that abides within us always. We breathe, we relax, we go deeper, and we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
There's a Hole in My Sidewalk by Portia Nelson. Chapter 1 of my life. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. This isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in. I can't believe I'm in the same place. But it isn't my fault. And it still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street.
Okay then. All right, so let us breathe deeply and just sense that the joy in this room, the love in this room is that I am presence. The I am is another word for God, for love, for presence, for higher power, for spirit. Whatever it is we choose to call it, it is here, because it is that which is beyond words, that which is beyond names. But we can feel it in our bodies, in our breath, in our guts, in our hearts, in our being. And so today we'll sing a chant to remember the I am presence that is always with us. And as we remember for ourselves, we remember for all beings, because truly the I am is one. We sing the I am presence to remember our true nature. But in so doing, because there is one of us, we sing for the entire cosmos, for every being everywhere, for the hamsters, for all beings, for everything. I am, that I am, the I am presence is among us, and so let us sing about it. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am love. I am remembering who I am. I am joy. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am peace. I am remembering who I am. I am wisdom. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. How beautiful it is to remember the divine presence that infuses all of us, that is all of us, that moves through us, that speaks through us, that remembers through us. And so in the spirit of this deep remembrance, let us breathe in deeply and then exhale, opening our eyes as love and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste.
I grew up in a small town. When the rain would fall down, I'd just stare out my window. dream of what could be, and if I'd end up happy, I would pray. Trying hard to reach out, but when I tried to speak out, felt like no one could hear me. Wanted to belong here, but something felt so wrong here, so I prayed I could break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Gotta make a wish, take a chance, make a change and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget all the ones that I love. Gotta take a risk, take a chance, make a change and break away. Da 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 da. I wanna feel a warm breeze, sleep under a palm tree, feel the rush of the ocean. Get on board a fast train and travel on an airplane far away and break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Gotta make a wish, take a chance, make a change and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, I won't forget all the ones that I love. Gotta make a wish, take a chance, make a change and break away. Buildings with 100 floors, swinging round revolving doors. Maybe I don't know where they'll take me, but I gotta keep moving on, moving on. Fly away, break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Gotta take a risk, take a chance, make a change and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, I won't forget the place I come from. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change and break away, break away. Da 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 da. Thanks. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. And you too, Chris. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. 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 So, gosh, it's so great. It's so great to see you here today. We have a special treat today. We're interviewing a wonderful person that's been with this center for quite a while, since what, like 2011, right? 14? Okay. And gosh, I knew her way back when. She was our director of youth and family for a while, and she'll tell you a little bit about her journey. But now she's a clinical hypnotherapist, and I went to see her about something, and I learned so much about the connection of how she works with the mind and how it relates so much to our teaching here. We used to be called Science of Mind. We still are sometimes. But I just wanted to kind of preface that and invite Shelley to come on up to the stage. So this is Shelley Ealer, everybody. And it appears that your son is here. Would you like to do that first or second?
Sure.
Okay.
I might need to hypnotize him to be a little more
on time? Okay, so Shelley's son has arrived. We're going to take care of you first, just so we don't forget, okay? So, yeah, come on up, Clark. Woo-hoo! And Clark, why don't you hand him the microphone and I'll help you help that. Yeah, so Clark, we're going to do a quick interview of you first, okay?
Awesome.
So what happened to you last week?
I graduated from Rio Mesa High School.
You graduated from Rio Mesa High School. All right. That's great. And what are your plans for next year?
For next year, late September, I'm going to Oregon State University, and I'm going to be majoring in sociology.
Yes,
So,
awesome. And do you have something that you want to be when you're done?
I would like to be a college professor.
That's so wonderful. Well, to help you on your journey, we have a little gift for you. You may want to open this in private, just so you know. Clark has a sense of humor similar to mine, so yeah. So anyway, we wish you the best, and let's give Clark another big round of applause. Thank you. Namaste. All right. So Shelley, let me get myself organized over here. Have a seat, girl. Oh yeah, you want the clicker. Okay. Yeah. So there's Shelley. Isn't she cute? Isn't she adorable? Yeah. So. Shelley, let's just start at the beginning. We're going to mainly talk about how hypnosis is like the mind, like the science of mind teaching, because that's what we do here. But let's go ahead and start with something that you shared with me recently, the Oprah video, okay?
Yes. Let me show you. A couple weeks ago, Reverend Bonnie had said, has anyone here ever begged God to answer a prayer for them? Can we show the sign of show of pinkies, and a lot of pinkies, and my hand was certainly up. And so I shared this video with her, and I'll share it with you now. It kind of starts the whole journey.
On the air live from OWN headquarters in Los Angeles. A few of you have been uploading your aha moments from Life Class on Oprah.com and Facebook too, I assume. Now I go, Oprah.com, Facebook, Oprah.com, Facebook. Let's take a look.
My husband and I have had a really rocky time during this recession, like so many other people. And I'll never forget when it all first started, I prayed. And I prayed, and I prayed. I was certain at that point there's no way there could even be a God. How could I pray that hard and want something so much and be so faithful and not have it answered? I got my aha moment at the end of the show. You said that for years you'd been waiting on God to answer your prayers. And then you realized that he was actually waiting on you. And it was like this moment of just clarity. It was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that. God said, get up off the floor, girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you. Keep those ahas coming.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So why were you on the floor? Tell us a little bit about that.
So Brian and I were struggling financially, and we were trying to sell our home. And we had bought our home in 2005 at the height of the market, and when the housing market crashed and the recession, the value of our home dropped dramatically, and we needed to sell it in order to be able to save onto some of our investment. And I was just praying. I mean, it was 1 year that we tried selling that house every weekend, an open house, and I was saying the rosary every day. I had St. Joseph statues buried all around the house, and I thought that was faith.
Yeah.
I was praying, but God, I'm praying, right? And I would hear this voice that would come and say, then let go. There's a better plan. There's a bigger purpose. Let go. And I ignored that voice because I thought that was faith, praying and the rosary and all of that. And when Oprah told me that, I had that aha moment. Oh my gosh. Yeah, God's waiting on me to let go, to do what God's been telling me, let go. There's a better plan, there's a bigger purpose. And it's interesting because I look at it now, all these years later, and I think, man, God, you were right.
Wow. So you let go, and I know that there were many incarnations that led you to the place you are now, but since we're here specifically to talk about hypnotherapy, tell us a little bit how you got started with that.
So, in 2006, my grandfather died, and my grandpa was my everything. And I was so distraught when he passed. And I went into a depression, a really, really severe depression, like a depression I'd never been in before. It wasn't getting better. And my kids were, at the time, Clark was only 2 years old. And I remember talking to my aunt, who I was sharing with her this grief. And she said, Shelley, she was seeing a hypnotherapist at the time to stop smoking. And she said, this hypnotherapist has helped me, but I know they do other things. Maybe you want to try that. I thought, I'll try anything. And so I went and saw this hypnotherapist, and I was amazed that after one session, I felt so much better. One session. And I went back for a second session, and it was gone. I processed the grief. I was able to accept my grandfather's passing, and I was at peace again. It was really incredible, blew my mind. But I forgot about it. You know, all these years passed, completely forgot about it. And in 2018, I became a life coach. And I started working as a life coach, really loving it. And I would get to the point, though, with some of my clients that I felt like I was hitting up against their limited beliefs. Like I could only take them so far. And then we're stuck up against these beliefs. And I thought, how do we get past that?
Let me stop you for one sec, because limited beliefs can impact the quality of our life, right?
Yes.
If we're limiting ourselves in thought, then we can't move forward in life.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. The limited beliefs, and some, you know, a very common limited belief is I'm not good enough.
Right.
I'm not worthy and I'm not deserving, right? And these are those things that hold us back. And so right around this time, by no coincidence, I got a phone call from one of my closest girlfriends, and she called and said, I needed to tell you something. I did the coolest thing this week. It reminded me of you. It was kind of a little kooky, but it reminded me of you've probably done it before. I said, what? And she said, hypnotherapy. And I said, I have done it. You're right, I have done it before. And I said, actually, it was amazing. Not kooky at all. It was awesome. It was the most, wow, you're right, I forgot about that. And my head started spinning a little, oh, interesting. And then I found it so interesting. Later that night, Brian and I were watching Netflix, and something comes on, and some show we're watching about hypnosis, and it's like another little nudge, like a little whisper. And then maybe the next day I'm driving on the 101 and headed to Woodland Hills, and I passed by that HMI College of Hypnotherapy sign. Have you guys seen that, right, off the freeway? Again, another little nudge. But I've learned to pay attention to those little whispers, those nudges. And I immediately, once I got home, Googled HMI College of Hypnotherapy and called to schedule a tour, and I was enrolled the next day. And it was truly, really the greatest thing that I've ever done in my life, personally and professionally.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. So, the universe blew up your life, and then you listened to Spirit and you surrendered, and then bit by bit you were led to this new path.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit, how does hypnosis work, and what's the theory of it, and how is it that it's, just tell us about how it works a little bit. I know you've got slides for that.
Yes. So to start off, hypnosis is a natural state. Okay, we all go into hypnosis every day. People don't realize that, but you wake up in the morning in hypnosis. Okay, hypnosis is just an in-between wake and sleep state. That's all it is. And you don't need anyone to hypnotize you. You can hypnotize yourself, but you wake up in the morning in a hypnotic trance, okay? It's just that in-between wake and sleep state. So when you wake up in the morning and you've just woken up, and your body's awake, kind of, but your mind isn't completely awake. You know, we had that experience. You kind of just go to the bathroom and brush your teeth, right? We just kind of go about your morning, but you're not completely awake. You're in a light hypnotic trance, okay? And in that state, when the conscious mind isn't fully awake and present, your mind is essentially exposed, and you're suggestible. And so you're in that state when you first wake up in the morning, and also before you go to bed at night, 2 times during the day when you're naturally suggestible. It's really important to know that, because you have to pay attention to what you're doing right when you first wake up in the morning, and what information you're turning on. Are we turning on, these things are devices and news and things like that, things that might be getting into your mind that might be causing more fear or distress.
So you're saying I shouldn't watch Law & Order SVU as I'm falling asleep? Okay.
No.
Probably not. Okay,
no,
good to know.
No.
Okay.
But I actually had a client recently who was watching horror things before she went to sleep.
Yeah.
And was having trouble sleeping. I'm like, we've got to cut out those things before bedtime, right?
Point taken.
Yes. So hypnosis is an in-between wake and sleep state. Another time that I love an example that everyone can relate to is, how many times have you been driving and you zone out and you pass your exit, right?
Been there.
Anyone? Show of pinkies, right? They call that highway hypnosis, okay? You are in a hypnotic trance. Now, you're not asleep, right? You're still awake. Your body is driving the car, really. The subconscious mind is driving, because driving is a subconscious habit and behavior. You don't have to think to drive. you do when you first start driving, but once you know how to drive, your body knows what to do. So the subconscious mind, if it's a little overwhelmed, it'll just move aside for a bit, and the subconscious is driving the car. And usually it turns on right as you're just about to pass the exit, that you were supposed to turn at, and you think your mind comes back on board. So hypnosis is a natural state, okay? And when we're born in the world, we call this our theory of mind, okay? When we're born, we come into the world essentially a blank slate. We know that we do inherit things, but for the most part, for this theory, we're born a blank slate, okay? And we're born with your primitive mind that's already wired and already firing. And in the primitive mind, this is where you have your fight and flight survival mechanism, okay? So that's part of the primitive mind. We're born with that. We're also born with the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Other than that, every other thing is learned and can be unlearned, okay? And when you're a child, you have this big open mind, okay? And everything just absorbs into that mind. And I'm sure you've heard the expression that a child's just like a sponge.
Like a sponge, yeah.
And that is not just an expression. A child literally absorbs everything. Everything is absorbed into the mind, and it's believed. And that's an important point to make.
It's believed, you said?
Believed.
Okay.
Everything is absorbed and it's believed. As a child, you've not yet formed your logical, critical thinking mind. Okay? You don't form the logical part of your brain until you're roughly 8 years old. So you don't have a logical brain to tell you otherwise. So when people tell you about fairies and are there any children here? Was there Santa looking around? No children here, I think.
Santa Claus?
Santa Claus.
Okay.
The children, they just believe. Yes, yes, yes. They don't have a logical brain to think, how does he get around the world, right?
Santa?
Yes. But perhaps they think that when they're older, correct? So everything's absorbed and it's believed. Also important to note that this is the stage in your life when you begin to create those limited beliefs we were talking about. Okay? Not by any fault of our parents, but no one goes through childhood without their parents telling them, you're bad or you're good or you want that toy, you think you deserve it after what you did? The way you acted today, you were such a bad girl and you want this toy, you don't deserve that. Right? And then we go about our lives wondering why we don't feel deserving and worthy. Right? Everyone experiences it. It's absorbed in the mind. It's believed. Okay. Then, we begin absorbing through our senses experiences in our life. Some experiences are positive, some are neutral, and some are negative. But this sort of becomes our program, right? The lens through which you see your life. Everybody has their own program. Everybody sees through their own lens. These are all your habits, your beliefs, and your behaviors, okay? All part of the subconscious program. And these are, this is how we learn. You're a child and you touch a hot stove. Learn not to do that again. That becomes part of the program, right? You're rewarded. Maybe you get a chocolate chip cookie. Maybe you really love those chocolate chip cookies.
Shut up.
Still to this day. Becomes part of the program.
Right.
Okay. So these are called our knowns. We like to call them our knowns, okay? And the subconscious sees them as pleasure. Anything known to the mind is seen as pleasure. Anything unknown to the mind is seen as pain. Now, your mind's number one job is to keep you safe, and it wants you to be in a state of homeostasis, which just means the same. Okay? So the mind always wants you to stay the same, the same, the same, the same. Anything unknown to the mind is seen as pain, but the knowns are seen as pleasure. And that's why when we've seen some form of perhaps even abuse in our childhood, we'll tend to gravitate towards it sometimes in our adulthood because it's known to the mind. And it feels known, and those knowns feel pleasurable, even if they are negative. Make sense? So as we get a little bit older, once you get to be around the age of roughly 8 years old, this is when you form your conscious mind. And the conscious mind is logic, reasoning, willpower, decision-making, judgment. Okay, those are all functions of the conscious mind. And when the conscious mind forms, there's an area created between the conscious and the subconscious mind, the critical area or the critical mind. And the critical area sort of serves like a filter between the two minds. okay? I like to think of it almost like a bouncer at a nightclub, okay? New information comes in and either you can come in or I'm kicking you out, okay? So at this point, roughly around the age of 8, when new information comes in, it's not just absorbed like it did when you were a kid. Information comes in and it hits that filter, that critical area, and it only absorbs into the mind if that information makes logical sense to the program. Then that information sort of absorbs, okay? But if it doesn't make logical sense, the mind will sort of throw it out, okay? Now, an important point to make also is that once the conscious mind is formed, right, the conscious mind only makes up 12% of the mind. The subconscious is 88%, okay? So the most powerful part of your brain, the subconscious mind, doesn't want you to change. It always wants you to stay the same, okay?
Shelley, can I interrupt you for 1 sec? I just had a thought. So in this teaching, that one of the slogans is "Change your thinking, change your life," right? And one of the ways that we change our thinking is through prayer. Mm-hmm. So where do you think prayer hits us? How does that work?
So, interesting question.
Yeah.
And so I do think that when we go into sort of a prayer state, it's a bit of a hypnotic state.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you go into that hypnotic state, that's where information can go down into the mind to be able to move into the program and become a subconscious program.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate that. I sprung that on you at the last minute, but it just occurred to me. Thank you.
That's okay. Yeah. That's good. So, I was just telling you just a moment ago, too, when new information comes in, it sort of hits that filter. And if it doesn't make sense to the program, it kicks it out. Now, most of us have seen it, a really good example of this is, have you ever given someone a compliment and they've had a hard and they don't receive it? Or perhaps that's you, okay? A lot of times we have a hard time receiving compliments. So someone will say something, "Oh, you're so smart, you're so kind, you're so lovely." And within, the mind sort of says, "Oh, if you really knew who I was, if you only really knew the truth," right?
Can we see a show of pinkies? So, right, yeah,
right,
yeah. I saw somebody pointing at somebody too. So yeah.
So that information comes into the mind, but you think differently in the subconscious mind because that's really subconsciously how and you shoot it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Been there.
Yeah, right. And another really good example to demonstrate this is, let's say you're talking to someone who shares the same, perhaps spiritual or political beliefs as you, and you can kind of feel your mind open and receptive to what they're saying, and you take in the information, you can feel your mind receiving what they're telling you. But if you're talking to someone who has very different views from you, and you think they sound a little bit strange, you can feel your mind just close, right? And your mind just shoots it right out.
Right.
Okay? So that's really what's going on in the mind. Okay? And this is why it is so hard to change habits, beliefs, and behaviors. Okay? The subconscious mind, the most powerful part of your brain, doesn't want you to change, and it wants to keep those knowns locked in place. So I see people all the time, and they come and tell me this. They say, "I feel like I'm fighting myself." Anyone, pinkies? Anyone ever feel like you're fighting yourself? Okay. "I feel like I'm sabotaging myself." Why? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I really want to change. Why is it so hard? And why does it feel like I'm fighting myself? Okay? You are. You are. What's happening when you feel that is that your conscious mind is in opposition to the subconscious program. Okay? So consciously, you might want to make a change, but subconsciously, not so much. Okay? And I like to use the example of smoking because it's really, really clear and easy to understand. So let's say someone wants to stop smoking, and we all know it's a very difficult thing to do, right? Consciously, the conscious mind, the 12% of the conscious mind wants to stop smoking. Consciously, the conscious mind knows this is a terrible habit, it's killing me. All the reasons, I can't stand the coughing, the mucus, the smell, it's expensive, all of these reasons why I don't like to smoke. Consciously, it's disgusting, I hate it. Subconsciously, the subconscious mind loves it. It's a known habit. I've been doing this since I was 15, okay? And it makes me feel good. This is the way I relax. This is what I do with my coffee. It's what I do with friends on my break and all that, okay? So it's a very, very strong program, and it's hard to break that program. You can use willpower, which is a function of the conscious mind, to quit. And you can, and people do. But it's not always so easy. We get that resistance, right, from the subconscious mind, that always is feeding you those suggestions of, you could do it. What's the point? You're never going to break this habit. Just stop trying. That type of voice, right?
And it's so much fun. I'm not talking about smoking, by the way.
I know.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm
It's
talking
so
about
much
cookies.
Fun, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you could just have one more. What's the big deal? You deserve it.
Yeah.
You earned it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's really what's going on and why it's so hard to change. And so this is the cool part. This is where hypnosis comes in. Okay. In a state of hypnosis, what's so cool is that we're able to move through that critical area of the mind. In a state of hypnosis, the conscious mind just moves aside a bit, and that critical area becomes permeable, so that information can directly move through the mind into the subconscious mind so that we can work on that program directly. So we go into the subconscious mind and tell the subconscious mind that you no longer desire to smoke. And we give all the reasons to the subconscious mind why it's disgusting. Just reminding you how expensive it is, just reminding you that cough, the wheeze, the smell, reminding you how shameful sometimes it feels, and all the reasons why you want to stop. And we make it so unappealing to the mind that once we get the subconscious mind on board, and now the subconscious mind thinks, I don't like it anymore. Once the conscious mind aligns with the subconscious, that 12% works with the 88, and 100% of your mind's on board, bam, no more smoking. Mm-hmm. And that's why I can help someone stop smoking in just one session. Mm. That's how effective it is when you work with the subconscious mind. It's really powerful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Should we talk about skepticism? Are we there yet?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there, and I also want to reiterate here too that I want to bring back that thing about prayer. When we invite you to come forward for a prayer with a practitioner, that's part of what's happening is that we're aligning your conscious mind with your unconscious mind. Because how many of us have prayed for something and then taken the prayer back? Well, that's never going to happen. We pray for something and then, well, see, that's a sign that prayer didn't work, right? Because, often we want the prayer to work, bam, 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 right away. We want that, right? Yes. That thing. And as I've said many times before, is that prayer rarely arrives in like a gift-wrapped package with, a fanfare of trumpets. It's usually in little tiny pieces, kind of like your experience at the beginning. So it sounds to me like prayer has a very similar effect, and what Shelley so beautifully stated before, it's aligning the conscious mind, our thoughts. We pray with the conscious mind, but also we're sinking into the unconscious as well, so that everything lines up. So I appreciate that insight. Thank you. Yeah. But however, Shelley and I have spoken about this too, that sometimes people are very skeptical about hypnosis, and there are certain categories of skepticism that come forth, and I asked Shelley to talk a little bit about that too.
Sure, I hear this all the time. When I ask most people, what do you know about hypnosis or hypnotherapy? Most people tell me something like this, okay? This is what most people think of when they first hear the word hypnosis.
Yes.
Okay, they think of a stage show, okay? I just saw it at the fair, okay? And we see people barking like dogs, and quacking and all those type of things.
I saw someone speak into a shoe like it was a telephone. He was like, hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is in that state, that person is in hypnosis. And, the stage hypnotist knows who to pick. You can tell people who are more suggestible, but let's remember these people are raising their hands to be part of a show, okay?
Right.
These are people that are willing to go along with it. They are in hypnosis, and they would probably be willing to quack or bark or make their shoe a phone, but their mind will never let them do something that they really don't want to do. So if that hypnotist pushed them really, really far and told them to do something that was out of their comfort zone, they would come out of hypnosis. No one could ever make you do something you don't want to do, say something you want to say. Mm-hmm. You're still completely in control even when you're in a light trance. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's really important to know. Mm-hmm. A hypnotherapist could never ever change your morals, beliefs, or values, anything like that could never really be altered. Okay, your mind would not ever accept that suggestion that ever went against your morals, beliefs, or values.
Something that's so core to your being that it just couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so you're in a very complete, in a very safe space, and people don't realize that nothing ridiculous happens in a state of hypnosis. This is entertainment. People use hypnosis for entertainment value, but that's not hypnotherapy. This is more what hypnotherapy looks like, okay? You go into a hypnotherapist's office and you sit in a recliner or maybe a couch, a chair, and just close your eyes. It feels like a deep meditation. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And in that state, your conscious mind is moving aside, and the hypnotherapist offers lovely suggestions to your subconscious in order to align your conscious goal with your subconscious program so that you can get the results that you want. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's very loving. It's highly effective. It's totally safe. There's no way that putting you in a very relaxed state and offering you loving, beautiful suggestions can harm you. And so I'm really on a mission to dispel the myths, to inform and educate people about this modality of therapy that's highly effective. And I was so grateful when Reverend Bonnie asked me if I would talk to her about it today. I said, absolutely, 100%.
Sure, thank you. The other thing I've noticed too, I've been hypnotized twice, and how many people in this group have been hypnotized? Yeah, and haven't you known that you can get out of it at any time? This may be oversharing, but I know when I went to Shelley, she's like, or somebody, maybe it was you. They're like, you're going to be in a trance, and I was like, well, what if I have to pee? What if I wet the bed? But you can get out of it at any time. I could have stopped Shelley or the other person I went to who did a life between life experience thing, like an life after death thing. You could stop it at any time. You're not under anybody's control. You just say, I'm done.
Yes.
Yeah. Not that I wanted to.
Yeah, that's it. You're still completely in control. I had a client yesterday where we were in a really lovely state, and she started coughing and sat up. I said, do you need some water? And she said, I do. And she sat up and had water, and we just went right back into the session.
Yeah.
You're completely in control. So,
and as far as I know, I didn't wet the bed. So sorry.
That's good.
I'm losing my filters, people. I'm going to turn 65 in 3 months, and I'm losing all my filters. So we're just going to have to deal with it. Okay. So just to what? Okay, so just to kind of tie this up, Shelley, tell us just maybe one story about how hypnosis has changed your life.
Wow, I feel so blessed to be doing this work. I can't even tell you. I have never been happier. I feel so grateful, and to see how everything has just come together, especially looking back at that old video of Oprah, and seeing how far I've come from then, how broken I was, and how I just sort of followed my heart, and everything was guided, and I just fell into this career that I didn't even know existed, into the most meaningful career of my life. And I want to share real quickly. This happened yesterday. I haven't even told you about it yet, but yesterday. I got a text message from a client. Let me back up a second. I've been seeing a client remotely, and we're working on anxiety and panic disorder. And this particular person has had a hard time leaving their home. And they've been essentially stuck at home. They can go to work, which is just about a mile away, but other than that, they don't feel safe to go anywhere else because they have having multiple panic attacks a day. And so after our first session, we had a really, really great session. And then at the second session, I asked, how are you feeling? And they told me, I haven't had a panic attack all week. Wow, great. And then after the second session, we had a great session, and then we followed up on the third session as, how did your second week go? And they told me, well, now actually, I'm able to drive back and forth to work without any anxiety, and that's been a real shift. Great, awesome. And I said, tell me where you want to go. If you did not have this fear and this panic, where would you want to go? And they said, I just want to go to the beach. Oh. And I said, how far away is the beach? And they said, 2.7 miles. Oh. I said, honey, you're going to the beach. I said, Shelley, I don't know if I can. Yes, you can. You can. We're going to work on it today. And we use something called systematic desensitization to desensitize that fear. And I had them imagining that they were at the beach and seeing themselves so joyful. And yesterday at noon, I got this text message from them. Because I said, you're going to send me a text message when you get to the beach, sweetheart. Right? Oh. And so, this is how it's changed my life. I will never get, I've been doing this for 3 years, and I've been getting a lot of messages like this. But I will never, it's not lost on me how beautiful this is. It means so much to me, and I feel so blessed and so grateful for every single person that I get to work with. And it's meant so much to me.
Yeah, thank you, Shelley. So not only are you helping, this was just, I was reminded of this the other day from an email that I got, not only are you helping this person go to the beach and all the other people that you help, but for generations and generations and generations, that service that you offer will bless many people. And also let's think back to all of the generations and all of the life events, millions of life events that brought you to this stage today, so that you could share us, so that we could ripple this message outward. We are so grateful for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless one. So let us pray. Okay, so we turn within. We turn within and just trust that power and that presence of the living one, the power, the love, the spirit, the growth, the grace, all of that which is right here today in each and every one of us, in this beautiful sanctuary, in our hearts, in our bodies, in our beings. And how good it is to know that we are one with this essence, with this power and this presence. We reach down into the deepest part of our being to know this truth in our minds, in our hearts, in our guts, in our bodies, in our essence, that we are one with love. And that love has shown up here today, speaking through Shelley, speaking through the fellowship, speaking through the music, speaking through every one of us here today, to create this cosmic spiritual soup where we can support one another in growth and transformation, so that we can live this beautiful life where we know we are worthy, where we know we are deserving, where we know that we are emissaries of the one, emissaries of the beautiful divine light, truth, love, integrity, goodness, grace, power, joy, whatever it is we are called to do. We are called to do that on a deeper level and to be that on a deeper level. And so I'm just so grateful that we have been here this morning. And I know that everybody's life has been transformed in small or large ways. And that the transformation that occurs in us ripples out to blesses the world in our relationships, and in relationships we don't even know we have, relationships beyond our relationships. So that ultimately the entire cosmos is blessed by our spiritual work here this morning, our spiritual play here this morning. That's why I'm so grateful that everyone here today has said yes to church, and the people watching online or on YouTube have said yes to church, have said yes to the center, have said yes to the highest and best good pouring through them in their lives in unique and mystical and miraculous ways. I'm so grateful for the transformation that is occurring here right now as we contemplate these words. I'm so grateful for this teaching, so grateful for all paths to spirit. I bless all of them: churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, Sikh gurdwaras, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics, all beings everywhere, feeling the blessedness of all beings everywhere. And so as we move into this deeper state of blessedness, we have the privilege of letting it go into the mystery, into the law of mind, into the law of discovery. And so with a heart that is so filled with gratitude, I say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine. And together we say, and so it is.
Therapist. She helped me quit smoking. It was an excellent example. Oh, thanks. When I picked this song, it was a beautiful sunny day, and then we had June gloom for 10 days, and so I thought this wouldn't be appropriate, but I'm excited the sun is out, so it's appropriate again.
The sun is out?
All right, let's do it. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Oh, here comes the rainbow I've been praying for.
gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Oh, gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Sing with me. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. One more. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
So let us pray. So we turn within and just once again acknowledge that we are here together today on this beautiful, beautiful day. Whether it's foggy or sunny, it's just beautiful because God is here in this day. In every flower, in every drop of moisture, in every ray of sun, in all of it, God is here. And God is most certainly present in each and every one of us. Love is present in each and every one of us. And so today we have magnified and multiplied that love through our spiritual work together, through our intention to come here to learn, to grow, to be, and to be that presence, that change that we wish to see in the world. And so with a heart that is so filled with gratitude, I give thanks for everyone who has shown up today. I give thanks for this beautiful congregation. I give thanks for the ripples that spread out from this time together. And I give thanks for God. With a heart that is so filled with love, I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, love. Thank you, higher power. And I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome.